Told her off, but he got away. She says, "Don't shoot me, I'm pregnant with a baby." And I shot her anyway.
Hello, and welcome into yet another special episode of Into the Dark. The episode of today only contains kids and femboys, since in previous video I said that I'll do a special episode on femboys and kids that would slaughter Homelander if the video reached 500 likes. And you guys did it. And before we go to the principal subject, I wanted to thank all of you guys for 736 subscribers. And it would be cool if the channel has more subscribers than Chris Tyson. But without much yapping, let's go into the dark. The video will go like this. I first show one kid, then one femboy, and then one kid again. And I assume you didn't watch the previous part, so I'm gonna do a brief scaling of Homelander. First, it's stated that every human weapon on Earth can't kill him, including nukes, which would give him city-level attack potency and durability. However, this statement is very debunkable when you see someone like Queen Miri draw blood out of him. So if you wanna scale him without statement, Homelander would scale to city block due to taking this explosion.
It's since...
Oh, fuck.
As for speed, Homelander saved Butcher from a C4 explosion, which would grant him hypersonic plus speed. As for abilities, he's your average Superman clone. He has laser vision, super strength, flight, see-through walls, and sonic scream. Although powerful, Homelander lacked combat training and most of the time just overpower and laser people, which mean any character who scale close to city block and with enough combat experience can mop the floor with that man-child excuse of a Superman parody. So let's see who is gonna slaughter him today.
I heard you's a pedophile, nigga. I heard you like little boys and girls, nigga.
You know, I always hated doing overkill stuff, but this one is so fucking funny. So everyone know Dragon Ball power level is just on some crack. Cell is not an exception. He can destroy islands with basic Ki Blast. And you know it's bad when even Goku's hit does nothing to him. That and the fact he can destroy an asteroid just by applying pressure on it.
To Frieza and his father's wonderful genes. Perhaps those miserable humans would appreciate a little light show.
Cell also stated that he can blow up the entire solar system, which put him anywhere to at least moon level to at best solar system level. And let me tell you something real quick. Any characters in this video beat the shit out of Homelander? You may ask me why. And I will answer that I am the greatest Homelander hater of all time. I am hating more than Dan Kao and Kendrick at the same time. So if you want a fair match-up, get those to bum and make them fight Homelander, because I can't stop hating. When I sleep, I'm hating Homelander. When I wake up, I'm hating Homelander. When I beat my meat...
I am going to remind you in advance that I am very sorry and I apologize for the inconvenience of me not giving a fuck what you think.
Venti or Barbatos is one of the many characters in that game with a shitty fanbase named Genshin Impact, and yes, it's like 4 weeks since I've touched this video. Venti's main weapon is an instrument called Lyre, which is strong enough to cut mountain and lift them into the ocean, and that feat alone would make the femboy hit a griddy on Homer's grave. But I have to make this video at least 20 minutes long, so we're gonna go on and talk about speed and abilities instead. Venti's speed upscale characters like Chlorine, who can slice missiles at massively hypersonic plus speed, which is between Mark 1000 or 8740. As for abilities, Venti is basically able to create force field equal to his attack potency, and manipulating wind, as well as Type 1 immortality. So overall Venti would scale to mountain level attack potency and durability with massively hypersonic plus speed. Next character.
2 weeks later.
Arale is the protagonist of the previous manga of the now deceased Akira Toriyama. Dr. Slump, the man who inspired a generation of mangaka, the father of Dragon Ball. Arale is a robot that looked like a little girl with purple hair. She's kinda naive, and she's also some kind of cartoon character. This one is more overkill than Cell for that main reason. Due to her gag childish nature, Arale is basically a Dragon Ball version of Bugs Bunny. If you want to scale her, she literally threw the sun and folded her own story to make paper plane out of it. And honestly, I don't even need to put attack potency and speed on this one since. What is Homelander gonna do when she fold his show and burn it? This part of the video is just me throwing Homie into spite matchup for my own guilty sadistic pleasure. But anyway, let's get something less overkill than a Japanese version of Bugs Bunny. Haku was born in a small, snowy village in the Land of Water, a land that had suffered from war not long before. In this war, different sides battled each other using ninja, some of whom possessed Kekkei after the war ended. Memories of the horrific battles still lingered in the minds of the people. Those with Kekkei quickly became feared and hated for their abilities, out of concern that their existence would only bring about more war. Haku's main ability is ice manipulation, and I know it doesn't sound that strong, but even Kakashi stated that Haku was stronger than himself. Kakashi is a guy that can intercept lightning, which would give him massively hypersonic speed, and since at this point Haku was stronger, it means he would scale to that level of speed. But the most impressive speed feat is when Haku used his ice manipulation to create mirror. In those mirror, Haku can travel at the speed of light, and in terms of attack potency and durability, he is stated to be stronger than Kid Naruto, who stopped a giant snake. This feat was calc at city level, which would grant Haku city level attack potency and durability and massively hypersonic speed. Now, his ice manipulation is strong enough to hurt Naruto and friends, as well as creating several ice spikes and force field. And as a kid he was trained to be a weapon for Zabuza, and I'm not including Edo Tensei, which make him basically unkillable for Homelander. But as soon as the fight begin, Haku no-diff Homelander. So next character. Platinum End is such a great anime with such an awful ending, and this entry is gonna spoil the anime, because I didn't like the ending. So, imagine a world where instead of giant scary one-eyed floating ball, angels are actually just naked glowing persons that can travel at the speed of light. I know, it's like imagining me with a girlfriend. Hard to imagine, but it will happen someday. And in Platinum End, every determined amount of years, angels come to Earth to recreate Fortnite with human. They either give the humans red of rose, white of rose, or wings that give you literal lightspeed travel and reaction, or sometimes just both. It depends on the glowing naked person you encounter. Miri, our challenger and protagonist of the anime, got the two rose and wings, and it may surprise you, but the guy is really just a normal teenager outside of his power. No super strength or durability, just Angel Rose. But then you may ask, how can he beat Homelander then? And I'll answer that it's because of the Rose, and mainly because he has lightspeed travel and reaction. You see, this entry is like those buff strong character with high durability versus a guy in wheelchair with instant kill abilities, and Miri is the guy in a wheelchair. Let me explain how the arrows work. The red row make everything you touch with it fall in love with you, and his main win condition. The white one make literally everything it touch die instantly. Literally everything. Humans, virus, literally God trying to merge with suicidal teenager. You just have to shoot. What's that? You wanna know why God tried to merge with a suicidal teenager? Well, remember what I said about Fortnite? Well, if they all agree to choose a person, or if there is only one guy with an angel left, the guy become one with the god of their universe, and turns out merging with a suicidal teenager and leaving him at the control of your body for a few minutes isn't that good of an idea. But anyway, the arrows also travel at the speed of light, and only people with angel can see them, so Homelander doesn't really have way to dodge them. Just shoot him, and it's over. Next character.
She's dead, and they told her off, but he got away. She says, don't shoot me, I'm pregnant with a baby. And I shot her anyway.
Wait a second, just hold on. Really thinking of cutting down an unarmed girl, are you? You guys are losers.
You're so full of crap. At it, let's talk about another bit of monkey business. About being an unarmed girl, but you're really a guy, aren't you? I know you're trying to hide it, but it's so obvious.
Is one of the Quincy in the 1000 Blood War arc of Bleach, and honestly almost everyone at this point scaled to at least country level with FTL speed. But instead of simply talking about attack potency and stuff, I want to talk about his abilities. Has the ability to turn whatever his blood touch into zombie. He can order anything too. And I don't mean that the blood need to be drunk, or you need to weaken the enemy. I mean that whatever his blood touch turn into a zombie. Here's an example. There is only 3 scenarios to this fight. Homelander ends up dying in gruesome ways in the 3. 1. He can somehow see the Quincy, and I don't know what magic hurt him despite the strength gap between the two, which end up drowning him in the Quincy's blood and force him to reset character. And I didn't tell you that. But the said Quincy, that I can't pronounce the name of, has immortality in some kind of way. So if you think he can just one-tap him without activating the bleed power, you're hardly mistaken. For the second scenario, I need you to imagine a femboy who moved faster than light speed, cutting part of his skin, and running toward Homelander to just touch him with his blood. The third scenario is just Homelander getting speed blitz and mauled to death by the femboy. Next character. But before we continue, I wanted you guys to know that I now have a Discord server. Link in the description. You can talk about a lot of things there, like how a baby armor would save you from a bank heist, or other less weird things. But anyway, let's get back into it.
Oh, good job. That doesn't look suspicious at all.
Shh, here he comes.
He didn't see it. Draw his attention to it. Make a wallet sound.
Wallet.
That's not the sound a wallet makes.
You do it then if you're so... Actually, that was really good.
Guys...
You know, what I like about the amazing world of Gumball is that the show's comedy is better than 90% of woke stuff today. But also the broken amount of power in each episode. I mean, a guy could literally destroy the universe on a Monday evening, and there will be nothing you could do about it. So where to start with this nonsense? Maybe I should talk about how Gumball and Darwin literally survived the Big Bang. And trust me, it's only gonna get weirder from here. In terms of speed, they scale to Penny's dad, who literally threw a sandal at MFDL speed on the moon. Gumball and Darwin can also reach space in seconds, which is massively hypersonic, So Gumball and Darwin would scale to literally high universal due to the Big Bang feat, and at least massively hypersonic to at best massively faster than light. But let's make it even more overkill and give them what I call the Cartoon Network Death Note. What is the Cartoon Network Death Note? Well, it's basically the dream of every Reddit addict and my hero shipper. Basically everything you write on the note becomes true, no matter how weird it is. One of my favorite ways to use it on Homelander is to write something like, Homelander lose all his power and get mauled by a group of femboys. But hey, I guess it's just me. At least I'm not the only one typing a stock for feats on Google, right? Right? Just joking. But you know what's not a joke? The fact that I run out of femboys, so the next femboy is the last. I also didn't want to dive into Nahobino's background.
Pause.
So next and last femboy, may his name be forgotten.
Griffith!
No!
Griffith or Fento, or the guy who traded his friends for a gay Batman suit, the most freaky villain of Berserk. This isn't even a fight anymore. It's a freaking Diddy party. And you know, I kind of feel a little sad for Homelander. Making him fight people out of his league like that. Kinda wanna give him a proper apology. Just kidding, I have no regrets at all. Due to being a god hand, Griffith is now everywhere and nowhere at the same time. It's stated that a god hand physical form is just a big mass of negative thoughts. But that's not the thing that makes Griffith OP. No, what makes him OP is his fate and causality manipulation. You see, you can't really hurt a god hand the way you hurt a normal being, so no laser or super strength. The reason is because every attack thrown at a god hand is directly manipulated by fate not to touch them. Which mean if you throw a punch at Griffith, it will either go through him, or it's gonna be deflected to you. It's basically said that god hands are transcendent entities, and fighting them is like fighting the author of the story. And that's right because of causality manipulation. For those who don't know, causality manipulation is the ability to manipulate the flow of cause and effect. It basically means that a god hand can decide the cause of your death and the outcome of the fight before it even began. To put it in perspective, imagine you're a pro MMA fighter, and right when the fight starts, you get testicular torsion because of your opponent's ability to manipulate causality. That's basically Griffith's power. Immunity to almost anything and causality manipulation. No need for speed or attack potency, because Homelander will be automatically dead when the fight starts. And even if he wasn't, remind yourself that he can't do anything to transcendent entities, so next to characters. Yes, even a baby can no-diff this man Homelander. A green freaking baby can end his whole verse. It is that bad. The green baby from JoJo is A. Honestly, do we really care about what the thing is? Because honestly, when you clicked on this video, you already knew every characters in the list were gonna no-diff Homelander. The green baby's ability is size manipulation. You try to run after him, and you shrink down. And you might just think Homelander would handle that. But I didn't finish my explanation. You don't only shrink down the more you try to reach him, but you shrink until your body is literally erased from existence. It is in fact that OP. And giving that to a baby got to be one of the most wicked decisions someone ever made. And it's not only your body, but if you try to attack the baby, the attack to our erase from existence. To put it in perspective, if Homelander attack he die. If it walk toward Homelander die from existence erasure. And keep in mind that the green baby scale to below average human. His ability is just that OP. But anyway, this green baby with existence erasure power is gonna bring us to the last character, who is Shoto Todoroki from My Hero Academia. And I think you good people already know his backstory. Blah blah blah. I have an abusive father, womp womp.
We do not care.
Honestly, Shoto's attack potency would go into the town to city level due to the calculation of this feat on versus battle wiki. As for speed, almost anyone at the start of My Hero Academia could dodge light beam, and Shoto can keep up with a 10% Diku. And I know this is a low ball, but Shoto would scale to city or town level with relativistic plus speed. And you may ask something like, but Doctor, why are you low balling Shoto? And I'll answer that it's because I want to go home and finish the video. Because like every gentleman on this earth, I got a wife and a kid that await me home, and I get to beat them up every time I go home. That's why. Anyways, Shoto's powers are ice and fire. I don't really need to elaborate. His eyes can freeze an entire stadium. If Homelander get caught into it, he's cooked. Fortunately, Shoto doesn't kill. Not like the VTuber, that basically Homelander is getting frozen and thrown in a soup prison. Anyway, this cheap parody of Zuko from Avatar is gonna bring us to the end of the video. Thanks to all of you if you watched till the end. Like and subscribe for more content like this. Until then, I was your host for today, and this was the 7th episode of Into the Dark.